In the early 1990s, Mary learned that she was HIV positive. How could that possibly be? How could she be at risk? How could the young mother of 2 children be infected? It's hard to imagine the environment of stigma that surrounded HIV/AIDS in those days, but suffices to say that no one would talk about it. This disease happened to nameless, faceless others, but not to an upstanding mother of 2 like Mary. Now, many of us simply would have, as we say in Zambia, gone underground upon learning this sort of news. But Mary did not. Her reaction was exactly the opposite of conventional wisdom. Her incredible reaction to this terrible, some might even say shameful news, was to tell everybody. And that she did, as she does most everything, in a big way. She first told her hometown newspaper, the Detroit Free Press, and then she went on national television at the 1992 U.S. Republican National Convention and told the entire world. That speech moved our country and was instrumental in garnering the political will to tackle AIDS in the United States. Since that time, Mary has been advocating for the rights and the needs of HIV-infected and affected people all over the globe. She served as UN Special Envoy for AIDS, and she has moved heads of states, ordinary people, celebrities, many others, to care about the HIV epidemic, both in the United States and in Africa. Mary has been a dedicated partner of CIDRZ since its inception. She's believed in us and advocated for us. She introduced us to her family and her family foundation, and gave us the privilege of meeting her mother and her brother and her sisters, each one of whom is more amazing than the next. And in Zambia, Mary has brought her artistic skill to women living with HIV and AIDS. She taught the Lusaka-based support group members to make beautiful things, bracelets, necklaces, pins, from an intricate crochet technique that's developed by her and her close colleague, Penny Morgan. She then helped to create a market, both in the United States and locally, where these support group members could sell these items, thereby giving a livelihood to women who, as they recover from HIV, would ask the natural question, what's next for me? Now that I'm well, how do I provide for my family? So, Mary, you're very special to CIDRZ, to Elizabeth, and to me, and we will never forget what you and your generous family has done for us and for Zambia. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Fisher.
I'm joined today by my brother Philip and his family, and by my son Max, heirs to the Fisher Family Foundation in the United States. The foundation is a living legacy of my mother and my late father, founded by their generosity, dedicated to their values, eager to support the heroic work being done in Zambia. Doug Stewart, our foundation executive director, joined this trip to demonstrate his personal enthusiasm for this work. All of us on the board and the staff of the foundation are honored by the grace with which you've allowed us a small place in your nation's work, and we truly thank you. In the years since I first visited Zambia, I've watched with awe as political, scientific, and community leaders of this nation step forward to provide wisdom at critical moments. If once the Center for Infectious Disease Research in Zambia was a partnership of 3 Zambian and 3 American professor physicians, today it is a partnership of thousands, and a partnership in which the strength of Zambian leadership is paramount. Already, CIDRZ has trained healthcare leaders from a dozen other African countries, as well as the United States and from China. Already it incorporates emotional, economic, and social well-being with physical health. And while others have written hopefully of public-private partnerships, CIDRZ has become one. While others have wished for a place of common learning and research for Africa, CIDRZ is in the process of providing one. And so we have come to this place on this day to open the earth of Zambia, to plant a promise that will, in buildings and programs, research and learning, discovery and publication, flower in the healing of nations. Where there has been ignorance, in this place will come knowledge. Where suffering and death have held sway, here will be found comfort and healing. Where fear remains, here will appear a home of hope. So we give thanks for the reality of what CIDRZ has already become, and we rededicate ourselves today to the dream of what is yet to be. If I have come this afternoon to represent a family foundation, I have also come as a member of the global AIDS community, a community into which I was inducted 19 years ago. When first I learned I was HIV infected, there was no CIDRZ, no antiretroviral options, no hope for the blessing of old age. In the discovery of a tiny virus living within my bloodstream, I became one with the beggar of Calcutta, the truck driver of Cape Town, the gay man living in New York's luxury, and the unsuspecting mother stoking a cook fire in Ngombe Township. When I went public with my diagnosis, I was redefined by the illness. I became, in a matter of hours, the woman with AIDS. So in the years since that time, I have come to see the world through different eyes. What were first concerns almost exclusively about my own children grew into concerns for all children. What was initially a dread of my own suffering and death soon grew to a concern for all who suffer and die at the mercy of AIDS.